CTV Edmonton. Local breaking news with Connor Hogg.
Good evening. A 4-year-old girl is dead after being hit and killed by a Jeep in northeast Edmonton. Police say it happened on 66th Street on Sunday at about 5:15 p.m. They say the girl was walking with her mother in a parking lot near 170th Avenue when she broke free and ran into the street where she was hit. The 23-year-old woman driving the Jeep stayed at the scene. EPS says bystanders tried to treat the toddler before she was taken to hospital, where she died from her injuries. Police are offering trauma support services to everyone involved. A peace deal that would end the war in Iran is expected to be signed this Friday. When the Strait of Hormuz closed earlier this year, oil prices immediately spiked. Global prices fell today. Energy watchdogs say it's too early to know how Friday's deal could affect Alberta's gas prices in the long term.
It takes some time for the drop in oil prices to sort of filter through to gasoline prices. So it can take some time. And I would say that the market has reacted, but there's potential for price to go up still, too. We don't know how much oil will really come through the strait immediately.
This afternoon, we saw gas prices in West Edmonton between $1.38 and $1.43, lower than the average price of $1.48.8. Economists say it will take time for oil inventories to replenish once the strait opens. The still high oil prices could also bring down the provincial budget deficit, which was predicated on about $60 per barrel prices.
We have an oil price assumption of $82 a barrel for the year. So a $20 difference pretty much sops up that deficit.
The provincial fuel tax Albertans pay may also go down. The gas tax rules require oil to be above $90 a barrel for 20 days to qualify for gas price government intervention. During her Saturday radio show, Premier Danielle Smith said her government had several days of monitoring left. She says we should know more sometime this week once her government determines where those June numbers land. And Premier Danielle Smith also says the province need to keep up the pressure on the U.S. to lift tariffs and embrace Alberta oil and gas.
We need to let the facts and the numbers speak so that Americans understand how much they stand to gain from this partnership. And that's why I supported the creation of the New North America initiative at the School of Public Policy. And it's why I appreciate your work in bringing together thinkers and decision makers across borders.
Smith spoke this morning at the BMO Centre in Calgary for the beginning of the new North American Summit. The two-day conference brings together academics and the private sector to discuss an integrated North American market. The event is billed as an opportunity for the current generation of leaders to work with the next generation to determine the future for our shared continent. The Premier says she's not sure what's next for country singer Corb Lund's coal mining petition. Last week, volunteers from the group against coal exploration and mining on the eastern slopes of the Rockies dropped off boxes of signed petitions. Petition proponents say mining puts water at risk. Smith had previously said she would be prepared to put the question on the October 19th referendum ballot. On her radio show on Saturday, Smith said she's not sure if that can happen.
I looked at the petition, and it calls for a legislative proposal. So I have to figure out what that means. That means that that's got to go to a committee, just as the Forever Canada petition did. And it's members from the opposition as well as members from the government, and they will do the review, talk to Justice, figure out what exactly that would mean, and then make a recommendation.
The group says it collected more than 200,000 signatures that still need to be verified by Elections Alberta. The Energy City Cactus Rats will meet with League officials tomorrow to present its plans for the future. The League says it needs a clear timeline for when the team's ballpark in Spruce Grove could open. CTV's Evan Kenny reports.
Work continues at the Energy City Metro Ballpark in Spruce Grove. The Cactus Rats will go before the Western Canadian Baseball League's Board of Governors tomorrow. The league says the team needs to provide an update and a plan for when games could actually be played on its home field.
The patience kind of ended with the Board of Governors last week when they said enough's enough. We want to know what the plan is moving forward.
Construction on the ballpark started in 2023. The team said it would start this season last weekend under these stadium lights without fans. The first game was canceled because of rain. Now, the league is demanding a clear date.
All we want is the ongoing chaos to stop.
The league told the Cactus Rats to make specific changes to the field and to come up with a concrete plan for the future. The board will decide if these changes and plans suffice. The league president did not want to speculate what could happen if the board says these changes are inadequate.
We want to make sure that the Cactus Rats are accountable to the league rules, regulations, and constitution.
CTV News spoke with upset fans last week.
It was so frustrating because they kept coming back and saying, oh no, we're going to open.
I shouldn't have had that much faith in humanity, heaven forbid. But here we are, no baseball.
Spruce Grove has issued the Cactus Rats a conditional occupancy permit, meaning 150 people can be in the ballpark at one time. The city tells CTV that only allows for the team and support staff, no fans. The league is rescheduling missed games for ballparks across the province until a decision about this ballpark is made. From Spruce Grove, Evan Kenny, CTV News.
People in Old Strathcona could soon have another place to take their dogs off leash. The Area Community League owns this land along Gateway Boulevard just south of End of Steel Park. Area Councillor Michael Jan says the league is offering up some of the green space for a potential future dog park. Jans has asked city staff what it would cost to put up some fencing and added garbage pickups. He believes another off-leash park in the area would be welcome.
Strathcona is a neighborhood where it's packed with high-rises, it's packed with apartment buildings, it's packed with dogs, and right now we're getting more and more off-leash complaints, conflicts with the River Valley, with coyotes, with Mill Creek Ravine.
There are two other fenced off-leash parks in the area, one operated by the city and another on private land on White Avenue. Council will debate adding the new dog park during budget talks this fall. The organizer leading the volunteer group filling potholes in Fort McMurray says they patched hundreds of them. Drivers say they were fed up with the condition of the only highway in and out of town. CTV's Nermanisa has this update.
This demonstration was not a one-man show. This shows the will and the power and the love Fort McMurray has.
What started off as a protest soon turned into a community initiative.
And we hit the road by 10 o'clock with over 85 volunteers. And they're all specialized professional landscaping construction companies.
Mohammed Terabin is the organizer behind a movement to fill potholes peppering Highway 63. He says they were forced to take matters into their own hands.
After a few months of complaining and sending emails, the whole community of Fort McMurray were a bit fed up with the empty promises and lip services from the Minister of Transportation.
In a nearly 2-kilometer stretch, more than 200 potholes were filled. Terabin says it's unfortunate it came to this.
We're very law-abiding citizens. We're a bit civil disobedient as well. But my point is this, enough is enough.
In a statement to CTV News, the Alberta Transportation Ministry says it put in an accelerated maintenance plan in place and will continue repairs weather dependent. A new pothole repair work order was also issued on June 4th. Terabin says he's giving grace to the province for the next couple of weeks. However, he's fixated on this pothole by Wandering River, south of the city.
If that road is not fixed by July, you're going to see me on the highway again.
RCMP does not recommend what Terabin's group did, but have not handed out any tickets or fines. Nermanisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta's Hospital and Surgical Health Services Minister met with her federal counterpart earlier this month to discuss changes to the healthcare system. The meeting came amid calls for the feds to denounce Alberta legislation allowing doctors to work in both the private and public systems. A lawyer hired by the Canadian Health Coalition found the province's dual practice model clearly violates the Canada Health Act. The province insists that's not the case. Canada's health minister has said little about the changes Alberta plans to make, despite pressure to.
We're absolutely looking for leadership in the country to deal with this issue. So we urged the minister to speak against it. The minister says to us that they're waiting for the regulations.
The Alberta Medical Association recently provided 70 safeguards to the government as the province develops regulations. Later on in the show, we'll talk to a pioneer of private care in Canada. The province is offering new incentives to get more people involved with foster care. Starting tomorrow, the province will triple caregiver referral incentives to $1,500. Eligibility for the Refer a Roster program is also expanding to include kinship and permanency caregivers, nonprofits, and community groups. Kinship caregivers can include relatives, extended family, or close family friends. Earlier this year, the province increased its caregiver rate by 2% to help cover the rising cost of day-to-day necessities.
These improvements are based on conversations with caregivers from right across the province, and we will continue listening to support the incredible work that they do each and every day.
Foster and kinship caregivers are the foundational infrastructure for the child intervention system. Foster and kinship caregivers provide nurturing, loving families and a life that allows children to heal, to feel safe, and to experience stability and predictability.
Alberta currently has nearly 1,500 licensed foster homes and more than 2,100 kinship care providers. 4 NDP MLAs say they won't be seeking re-election in 2027. Edmonton Gold Bar MLA Marlon Schmidt and Edmonton Riverview MLA Lori Sigurdsson are retiring. In Calgary, Joe Ceci and Luann Metz say they won't seek re-election next year. Alberta NDP leader Naheed Nenshi says the time was right for those who were leaving to make the decision based on their own personal circumstances. With thousands of forest tent caterpillars crawling around trees across Alberta, the critters could cause problems if they're not taken care of. CTV's Miriam Valdez-Carletti tells us how to deal with them in your own backyard.
Shannon Gadwa is geared up to take on these creepy crawlers, spraying them down with insecticide.
It does get very busy because it's a short window when the tent caterpillars are active, especially with the rain that we've been having this season. We can't spray when there's high winds or a lot of rain.
Alberta is seeing a tent caterpillar population boom. In small quantities, these critters aren't harmful, but once they start to look like this, it can be damaging to your trees.
In the large quantities, they can cause harm over time to the trees via defoliation, as well as the aesthetic of your trees through the summer.
Birch Tree Spraying says for large infestations, calling a professional is best.
We have the equipment to reach all the way up to the top of the trees and eradicate nests and eggs and active caterpillars.
But you can also take it into your own hands.
You can just take a garden hose and give it a good spray and knock them off the tree. Then you can physically just try and knock them out of the tree as well too. That does work.
Arborist Kevin Sproul says the best way to prevent damage to your trees is to make sure they're healthy.
Healthy trees can withstand a couple years of defoliation from caterpillars before you start to see any negative health effects.
If a tree is already dealing with issues such as drought, the caterpillars can leave them vulnerable to other insects and disease. The boom could last 2 to 3 years, but taking care of them now will help your trees in the long run.
Trees that we treat this year will be better next year because we're terminating the active caterpillars as well as their eggs that they're laying.
While you don't need this full hazmat suit to take care of them, you should always wear gloves when handling the insects. They're not poisonous, but can cause skin irritation. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
A new adaptive boat launch at Rundle Park means kayaking and paddleboarding will be more accessible for people in wheelchairs.
I love being on the water when it's nice outside.
A little rain didn't stop the grand opening of the new launch. The Edmonton Whitewater Paddlers and the Paralympic Sport Association came up with the idea for the adaptive launch after kayakers and paddleboarders in wheelchairs faced difficulty getting to the water. The boats also had to be dragged up the hill by up to 4 people. It meant a new system had to be constructed.
This is so cool.
You can roll up, get right beside the boat on the rollers, we load them in. We roll them down into the water, we turn them around, we can winch them back up with a winch, up the rollers, so it takes all that back-breaking work out of it.
I just love the feeling of being on the water, and it gives me a sense of freedom.
The province's Community Enhancement Grant paid for the materials, and the city built a concrete pad to provide the dock's foundation. Coming up next, a closer look at the changes to Alberta's healthcare system from both the public and private perspectives. And also ahead, the opening of a new Edmonton playground means one young boy gets to be included with his friends.
When we didn't have this, it made me feel so sad that we only had one park.
Good evening, folks. Into the mid-20s again. Today it was 26 yesterday, 25 for a high today, but that is the last time we'll be in the mid-20s until maybe the middle of next week. Cool, cloudy, and showery for the next few days. We'll get into that in a little more detail in just a few minutes.
Alberta's Hospital and Surgical Health Services Minister recently met with her federal counterpart to discuss changes to the healthcare system. It comes amid calls for the feds to denounce Alberta legislation allowing doctors to work in both the private and public systems. At least one group says it is a clear violation of the Canada Health Act. Others believe a revamp of the system is overdue.
Actually, this month is 30 years since we opened.
BC orthopedic surgeon Dr. Brian Day is a pioneer when it comes to private medicine in Canada. In 1996, he opened the Cambie Surgery Centre in Vancouver. He says his private facility has completed more than 90,000 surgeries since.
A number of months ago, I was in Vancouver operating on 5 Albertans, and a surgeon in Alberta was operating on 6 British Columbians the same day. Because once if you want to get out of a waiting list, you just have to cross the border.
Day calls the Canadian healthcare system ludicrous because of situations like this. He spent years in court challenging laws preventing doctors from working in both the private and public systems, and the ban on private insurance covering medically necessary care.
Every other country, including the communist countries, have that.
The BC Supreme Court ruled against Day in 2020, a ruling upheld by the BC Appeal Court. The Supreme Court of Canada declined to hear the case.
The court found not only does dual practice not shorten wait times, which was the argument made by the applicants in that case, and that's being made by the government of Alberta here, but in fact lengthens wait times and results in increased inequalities in access to healthcare.
Lawyer Emma Phillips works for a firm that took part in Day's case. She was recently commissioned by the Canadian Health Coalition to determine if Alberta's Bill 11 violates federal health legislation. The bill, passed last year, allows doctors to work concurrently in private and public systems.
Alberta's Bill 11 absolutely does not comply, most importantly because it establishes a system, effectively a two-tiered system.
The national advocacy organization that hired Phillips is now calling on the federal government to take action against Bill 11.
A lot of provinces would argue and say, well, healthcare is a provincial responsibility, but it's not a provincial responsibility when the Canadian government is actually funding the provinces, for the most part, for their health care.
In Alberta, that's to the tune of about $7 billion this fiscal year. So far, the federal health minister has been quiet on Alberta's attempts to revamp the system. Marjorie Michel met with Adriana LaGrange in Ottawa earlier this month.
We're absolutely looking for leadership. We urged the minister to speak against it. The minister says to us that they're waiting for the regulations.
A statement by LaGrange's press secretary says, "We are developing the regulations to implement dual practice responsibly, informed by evidence and engagement with a range of stakeholders. We look forward to sharing more in the coming weeks." At a separate health announcement this month, LaGrange said private surgical centres are more efficient.
Say a knee replacement, they can do 8 to 10 within a day. And yet in our hospitals, we were finding we were only doing roughly about 4.
The Alberta Medical Association says it does not oppose policy exploration, but if dual practice proceeds, it must be tightly regulated, public interest driven, and data transparent.
There is a very real risk of pulling some very skilled physicians out of the public system, and that can negatively impact the public. Particularly, we're worried about a loss of anesthesiology for emergent and urgent surgeries.
The AMA recently presented 70 safeguards to the government to help protect the public system.
One overriding committee to sort of look at the outcomes, monitor the metrics, make sure that we're actually moving things in the right direction is essential.
Day says he needs more details about Alberta's plan before commenting on it. However, he thinks the UCP is on the right track.
Something has to give because it's going bankrupt, like the system is going bankrupt.
The Canadian Health Coalition says it plans to ramp up its campaign against Bill 11. The Alberta government, meantime, insists the legislation does not violate the Canada Health Act.
Coming up after the break, a community coming together to raise money so Francis can use the new playground equipment with his friends.
Where now he does have that ability to still be with his friends and now be included in the fun. It just, it really warms all of our hearts.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. 9 degrees this morning. We got to 25 out ahead of the showers that push through late this afternoon. And again, tomorrow we're going to see some showers in the Edmonton region. It's not going to be heavy, steady, nonstop, all-day rain, but there will be rain in the area for most of the day. We'll start the day with some steadier rain here across the northeast. You can see this next wave of showers potentially rolling through in the morning hours. It's about a 30% chance in the morning, a little better bet midday, and then in the afternoon, scattered showers and potentially thunderstorms. I think the best chance for thunderstorms, potentially severe thunderstorms, would be from Red Deer off to the southeast here in Edmonton. Going to be pretty scattered in nature, but that risk continues right through into early Wednesday morning for some off and on precipitation. And even Wednesday afternoon, I think we get a few sunny breaks, but then maybe a spotty shower or thunderstorm late in the day. 13 in Fort McMurray, should be in the 12 to 14 degree range for Slave Lake, down through Edmonton and Red Deer, Coronation as well. About 11 degrees in Grand Prairie tomorrow morning. You're back to about 18 or 19 for Fort McMurray. You can see almost everybody across the province has at least a chance of some showers or thunderstorms at some point tomorrow. Daytime highs, Lloydminster, Red Deer, Jasper, Coronation, all in that 17, 18 degree range. And we'll kind of be in that 17 to 19 range for highs for the next 3 days. So back below average after our second above average day of the entire month, yesterday and today. That's it. Those are the only times we've been warmer than average. Gusty wind tomorrow to go along with the occasional periods of rain, gusts to about 40 kilometers per hour. Friday looks like the nicest day this week, 21 and partly cloudy, and then it's back to some rain for Saturday. Chance of showers for the summer solstice Sunday. And then through that first week of summer, next week, looks like we'll consistently get some warmer and drier weather. For this week, though, more of what we saw last week, mid to high teens and occasional showers. That is your forecast.
A neighborhood in Edmonton is celebrating the opening of a new playground. It's been years in the making and is extra special for one person because it means he can finally join in the fun with his friends.
We are so thrilled that you're joining us for our grand opening.
It's opening day for the new Linwood Playground. The neighborhood has been waiting for this for a while, and kids aren't wasting any time navigating every new nook and cranny.
I like it down. So, with this line, it has these arrows facing down. It's super noisy. I really like the monkey bars. I really like the big swing because it can fit lots of people.
We're just thrilled that the kids are enjoying it today, eating lots of cotton candy and lemonade and just building memories with their friends.
Giving everyone the opportunity to make those memories, one of the motivations for getting the new playground built. This new structure is designed so that everyone can take part, including some who previously couldn't. One of the project's strongest advocates is Francis LaHaye. Francis has cerebral palsy. He couldn't play on the older structure with his friends.
When we didn't have this, it made me feel so sad that we only had one park.
It's heartbreaking because he expresses how sad he feels when he is excluded. He describes sitting in his chair by himself, watching everybody else play.
Francis and his friends took part in a lot of fundraising, alongside the rest of the Linwood Community League and several donors, raising more than $100,000 to help make the inclusive and updated playground a reality.
Seeing something like this come together where now he does have that ability to still be with his friends and now be included in the fun, it just, it really warms all of our hearts.
My favorite thing about it is that everyone gets to play it.
Now Francis can join his friends on the play structure and ride along with them on its interactive elements.
feels amazing. Getting to be free, getting to play, getting to do whatever you want.
He also gets to know that he made a difference for his friends and generations of kids to come. Thanks for watching us tonight. For the latest news anytime, visit ctvnewsedmonton.ca. Thanks for spending your time here. Have a good night.